Okay. Hold on one sec. Okay. Oh, yeah. Remember this thing? It says Aaron has low disk space. I don't even know what that means. Get your disk space right.
Dude, I just got a new 2 terabyte stick, man.
Not enough. Not enough.
Not enough for this stream.
StreamYard needs 3.
Oh, goddamn.
Terabytes.
Free terabytes free at all times.
Yeah.
All right. Give me a sec. I'll start this. Hey, guys. Merry Christmas Eve.
That feels like abuse of the word Eve.
What do you mean?
I'm pretty sure Eve is short for evening. It's not Christmas Eve evening. You can't just toss Eve in front of words.
Okay, what am I supposed to call the day before Christmas Eve, JD? What would you call it?
Let's try December 23rd.
Merry December 23rd? That sounds so stupid.
Yeah, but I think JD is right on this one.
But you know what? I take it back. Not Merry December 23rd. God, I feel stupid even saying that.
You sounded stupid saying that.
I think what is traditionally called Little Christmas Eve or Tipsy Eve. So, Merry Tipsy Eve.
Hey, thanks, man.
Was that so hard to just say thanks?
You're killing me, Tipsy Eve vibe, Peterson.
Just start the sode.
You've just tipped into the 3-Bit Gamer Show. Welcome to the 3-Bit Gamer Show. I'm JD.
This is Peterson.
And Aaron.
And we're nice and tipsy. It is not even noon here. Aaron, just afternoon for you.
Dude, I'm wasted.
Dude, we've been pounding eggnog all morning.
That premix stuff that you get up in Evanston. You know, the good stuff.
Yeah.
Live from the 3-Bit Gamer Show. The news. The news this week is brought to us by Crave Cookies. Crave Cookies, the holiday cookie lords. It's this cookie shop spread across the United States, focused a little bit here in Utah. If you want to check out where you can visit a Crave Cookies, go to cravecookies.com, where you'll find their rotating menu of the week. You'll see the holiday M&M Crave, peppermint hot chocolate. Peterson, I ended up getting the Grinch. 2 of them.
How was it?
Oh my gosh.
Dude, chocolate mint is my favorite.
Yeah, I thought the top would be like a green mint icing. No, dude, it was like a green mint whipped cream. So it was like way lighter. And it was so freaking good. But here on this podcast, we have the sneak peek, the cookie sneak peek of the week. And we'll tell you what's going to be on that rotating menu starting on, what is it? December 29th. So the cookies you can get for your New Year's party. We've got peanut butter cup, the Biscoff brownie, the lemon Riz, the Cinnaful white toffee with a question mark.
Cinnaful white toffee. Okay.
No, sinful. I'm sorry. Sinful. I added the A.
It's so it's not cinnamon.
C-I-N-N-ful.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's not Cinnaful, it's sinful, which is better. And then the better than sex. So 2 sin cookies now that our
They're getting crazy out there at Crave, dude. Getting ready for the new year.
Yeah, so get on down to Crave Cookies and get your cookie on. China is cracking down on gaming again, and Chinese gaming companies are freaking the freak out. This is good.
Dude, they're like, they can't make up their mind. They're like, we're in, we're out, we're in, we're out.
That actually continues. That's a theme that continues, because what they did is China released some new regulations. And I'll go through these here in a sec, but they were restrictions on gaming and gaming activities. And there was an immediate market reaction in China, an $80 billion sell-off between Tencent and NetEase. Like, dude, $80 billion. They're
like, we can't do this again. That's why they're like, we can't do this again.
Yeah, 2021 was very, very recent in their memory. And this just happened. They're doing it all over again. Like, we'll just drop a bunch of regulations and people will just have to deal with it. Here are some of these regulations. They are including caps on how much a player can spend in a single game. So that's not really good for games, mobile games, especially that rely exclusively on like a very small subset of people of their audience spending an inordinate amount of money, a disproportionate amount of money. These whales that go in and drop $500 a day, that's who keeps the games running. But they're saying, nope, can't do that anymore. I mean, it's a smart regulation if you want to, I guess, cut your industry off at the knees or prevent people from, taking advantage of those whales. Also, this one, Peterson, you'll love, bans on daily rewards. So online games would be banned from giving players rewards if they log in every day, if they spend on a game for the first time, or if they spend several times on a game.
That's what
All of
keeps
that's
me in a
out.
game.
Exactly. And that's like another main revenue stream that these rely on. And then finally, there was just a broad ban on anything that compromised national security. So basically anything they don't like, they can be like, that's out. We don't like that. It compromises national security.
That's interesting.
Typical China.
I think this is fucking
It's because
crazy.
that's what they're doing to us. They sent us TikTok to
Mhm.
compromise national security, and they're like, this
Can't do that.
It is
We only do
super
that outside of
effective.
here.
I do not want anyone doing that to us.
You should see what's happening in America. Kids are drinking soap. So this is coming on the heels of 2021, and all the shit that China did then is kind of crazy. To me, I just got the impression it's like they're like at war with their own companies inside their country. And they're like, they're shooting people and they're leaving all these like wounded men on the battlefield. Instead of finishing them off, they're like, nah, we'll just leave them. And then the medics come out and they start shooting the medics. It's like, what are you guys doing? Why don't you just, because they pulled back a lot of the regulations from 2021 and they're like, we did it. We solved the youth gaming crisis in China. And now they're like, nah, it's just kidding. But actually just kidding, because they saw this. And they're like, $80 billion of our stock market was just like that. Just like all the sparrows in the 50s. Oops. So they come out and let's see, this was in Al Jazeera really recently. State broadcaster CCTV reported on Saturday that the authorities have heard, quote, concerns and opinions raised by all parties, adding that, quote, the State Press and Publication Administration will study them carefully and further revise and improve them. So they're like, oh, yeah, we overdid it. Sorry. You can't. That oopsie, I'm pretty sure, is not going to help the stock price recover. It's not going to give any of those companies any more confidence in investing in your country, let alone companies from outside of China. Like, you've just completely scared them off forever. Because they just keep doing this shit. Why would anyone ever invest money in tech in China at this point? They're crazy. They're out of control.
They don't need it. They don't need it as part of their economy. That's what it boils down to. They just don't want these execs for these gaming companies getting too cocky. So they're like, yeah, we don't need that. We've got manufacturing. So
yeah, until they can figure out how to make video games with slave labor, China's like, I don't fucking care.
Like we have to pay professionals to do this. Ugh. We hate that.
That sucks. We can't execute them and their families. They have a job. No.
Yeah, they're making too much money. We can't make their kids go to work.
Yeah,
at the Nike factory. So
don't want them to get cocky,
getting comfy.
Insomniac Games received a visit from Krampus this week, as over 1 million company files have been leaked following a massive hack. Guys, this is, if you haven't seen this, you should. I would click on a few articles and read about it, but we are going to cover this extensively. This is probably one of the biggest hacks in gaming history. I mean, it's up there certainly with the more recent Nintendo hack, or the kind of couple years ago Nintendo hack, and the more recent GTA 6 hack. This was a ransomware hack from the group Residia, who specializes in ransomware attacks. They were asking for $2 million in Bitcoin, not to release the 1.67 terabytes of data that they had lifted during this attack. And they didn't pay up, obviously. And so they released 98% of those files sold 2%. So we don't know what was in those. And if it's anything close to this, I don't know who the fuck bought it. It's kind of crazy. But one of the fun things that Peterson will like as an HR guy is this leak included a shit ton of personal data, personal information for Insomniac Games employees, including passports, credit card information. I mean, you upload this stuff for HR, you hope that, they use it for something good. Nope. Now your shit's all out on the internet. People are just downloading it. Your full passport, name, picture, all that stuff.
Oh man,
that's a fucking nightmare.
This is a nightmare. And actually that wouldn't look, I'm like, whatever. When these company files get leaked, it's kind of a funny, like, oh, that sucks for the company. But like leaking all that personal information, that's not cool.
That's huge, man.
That's not cool at all.
So, one of the biggest things that came out of this leak was the game release schedule. This is what everyone's talking about. Basically, their 10-year roadmap, which you never see, because no 10-year roadmap survives 2 years. Like, they change constantly. It's a roadmap,
and you see the public-facing version of the roadmap. You don't see the internal roadmap,
and they're never 10 years unless it's Bethesda, who. Maybe there should be 20 at this point. But they're trying to more or less, essentially, they're just trying to build the Spider-Man MCU. Because if you remember, Sony has purchased Insomniac Games, and Sony owns Spider-Man IP, I think, like indefinitely, because they sold their.
They're not letting go of it. Why would they let
go? And so they're using that to build out what's going to be the gaming version of a interconnected universe. Already, they've done Spider-Man 1, 2, and Miles Morales, with 3 on the horizon. Of course, they've talked about, and then here in this roadmap, a couple of things. I'll just go through this really quickly. Let's see, 2024 Spider-Man 2 multiplayer. 2025 Venom. 2025 to 2026 a Wolverine game. This hack actually included a pre-alpha playable build of this Wolverine game. That's
Norgal in the comments saying Sony's been sending out DCMA notifications to people who launched the alpha dev version of that game.
The idea of booting this up on your own PlayStation, dude, why not just take your PlayStation out into the backyard and shoot it with a gun?
Yeah.
Sony is going to nuke it from space.
Give the kids a sledgehammer and the PlayStation in the backyard. Like, that's this thing.
Dude, it's a Sony-owned subsidiary. If anyone is going to be right on this, there is a direct line from Sony to this leak, and you're opening the fucking pre-alpha leaked game on your PlayStation 5, you lunatic. It's connected to the internet and everything.
I gotta know.
There goes your home. There goes everything.
You're
just gonna be sued into oblivion.
Dude, just take it to McDonald's take your crappy PlayStation to the local McDonald's, hook up to their internet, boot this thing up on a laptop.
I should have just loaded it up on my local library's PS5.
I was gonna say just go into your neighbor's Wi-Fi and just see what happens.
So 2026 Wolverine multiplayer comes after that. 2027 Spider-Man 3. And then the next year 2028 X-Men multiplayer, and then the next year 2029 between 2029 or 2020 or 2030 X-Men, just the game, and then from 2030 on. They've talked about 2 new IPs that weren't discussed, but things that probably
I know this is
for the next couple years.
I know this is like bad news for them. Like, they don't want this out there, but this might be the best PR they've ever had, because this, if anything, people are like, dude, they're going hot and heavy. This is like an old school game release schedule. They're like, dude, we're going to pump out these IPs. So far, the Spider-Man games have been good. And so it's like, you have no reason to believe that they're going to start pumping out trash. And so this is some good PR, because people probably look at this and they're like, dude, I can get behind this. I want to get behind this. Like I said, this is a game release schedule from 20 years ago, where every 3 year, 2 years, they're pumping something out.
Yeah, I think the one thing that people weren't so hyped about is that this is very clear that Insomniac has turned into a Marvel shop.
Yeah,
they did used to do like Ratchet and Clank and those Resistance Fall of Man games on the PlayStation 3, which I fucking loved. Those games are so fun. But this is like, dude, this is it. This is all you do for the rest. I think people are a little bummed by that, but like Peterson said, it's kind of nice PR to see like that many games could potentially be coming out in that rapid of a pace, and they'd all be interconnected. They're all going to be, using the same engine and stuff, so they'll be familiar to everyone, and just picking them up I think will feel really cool. And then if you're building out multiplayers, well, every multiplayer game that you make subsequently from Spider-Man 2 to Wolverine to X-Men, they just get easier. They just get easier and easier. Another thing that I saw digging through these leaked images was a map of resources. It was a resource map. It looked like almost like a real time, like an RTS game, where it shows like your different units that you're building over the course of the game in the post game stats. And it's like, oh, you had 50%, or you had like 90% villagers and 10% military. And then as it went on, that ratio changed. And then the other people got this. And so it shows the allocation of resources for each of these titles across this timeline and how they're shifted. So it's very planned, very thought out. In fact, there's another look that they gave into the inner workings of Insomniac. This is a quote that they had a Toyota factory style line stops where leaders can use these to halt production when certain problems are discovered, so they're fixed early rather than creating bigger issues down the line. So that is awesome. I think seeing those types of things, not just we'll just slap a bunch of games on the roadmap, which is what it feels like Bethesda is doing. They're just like, oh, we'll do Starfield. The next, we'll do Elder Scrolls 6. The next, we'll do this. And it's like, it looks much more thoughtful. And then one of the other things that was in this buried was that there's some back and forth with Sony, who's been pushing them like crazy to fire 50 to 70 people, just want them to reduce headcount, and Insomniac is pushing back. So that's probably bleak for the people inside of Insomniac who just had their credit card and passports leaked a couple days before Christmas, and then they find out that the rumored layoffs that Sony was pushing for are not rumors but actual fact. Yikes, what a rough Christmas for some of those people. And then finally, the last little thing here was a slide from, looked like a presentation on the comparative advantages of releasing Spider-Man 3 as a single title versus 4 titles. So the single title would come out in 2027, sorry. And the other version of this is that Spider-Man 3 comes out as part 1 in holiday 2027, part 2 holiday 2028, MP, which is the multiplayer that comes in between that, and then finally the combo pack with all of that comes out in 2029. So you release this as a slow drip, the same fucking game over 3 years versus 1 year, and you're like, oh god, I can't believe they're doing this. And it's like, yeah, you would potentially make more money, but the net contribution and the dev cost is way higher, and it ends up being on the single title, the ROI is 50%. Releasing them as a 4-pack, 30%. So they've got a presentation here within their own internal files saying, oh, it just makes more sense financially to just release one big game.
Yeah.
Rather than all this support over years, spreading out our devs over years, having all this shit just so we could keep
marketing
them.
You got to market it hard.
All that stuff. Yeah, the costs go up to the point that you're losing money. And I'm very curious to see if this color is any other gaming studios see this type of thing and like, oh, maybe we should dig into that if it would save us money to actually release the fucking game at once rather than this like slow drip shit of content, which I'm pretty sure Starfield's baking toward right now. Same thing with Cyberpunk. Isn't there that big Phantom Liberty thing? Wasn't that more money?
It's a paid DLC. I mean, yeah. Paid, I think paid DLC maybe feels a little bit different than what this is. But now that this is leaked, like 0 people would want to buy version 1 if we know in 2 years you can just buy the full game.
Yep. So they're going to have to adjust.
Yeah, there's no way they're going to do the slow drip now. There's no
no,
way.
they never were. I think that was
Right.
the thing, is it proved
Right.
that doing that would be stupid. They'd lose money on it. The
Right.
ROI is lesser. They have to hire more devs.
You know, there was somebody championing the idea though, and being like, okay, well, what if we did this? And like, no, there's 0% chance that's going to happen. So yeah, it's all going to come out. But I do like that they're recognizing that, because then right when you said that, I was like, no, you go the Hogwarts Legacy route and you just release the game and let it make $1 billion, right?
Yeah.
Just like
No,
release a good
Hogwarts
game.
Legacy Part 1, Hogwarts Legacy Part 2, Hogwarts Legacy Combo Metal Edition.
If a game comes out and it's called Part 1, I'm straight up not buying it.
0% chance I will play that.
Yeah,
shit.
straight up not buying it.
Fucking way.
I'll wait for it to be on Game Pass.
Right after gaming publisher Take-Two spent $12.7 billion on Zynga last year, mobile games went on an 18-month dive. Serves you right,
That's
you
what you
fuckers.
get.
That's
Don't
what you
invest.
get. Basically, if you guys remember this last year, this is the biggest gaming acquisition ever at the time, until Microsoft came along and made this look small. But it was $12.7 billion that Take-Two, these guys publish GTA as well. They bought Zynga because there was a big play. Strauss Zelnick, the CEO, was waxing poetic about how he was so sad he missed out on mobile gaming and he wished he'd gotten in on it sooner. So what do? You buy at the very tip, right? You buy at the peak.
You buy it when it's at the hottest.
That's what they say.
He was so jealous, he kept watching it go up, so he bought it at its absolute peak. And since the spring of 2022, sales from Zynga's 5 highest grossing games have fallen 23%. This is according to researchers Sensor Tower. Their sales are down total 5% since 2021. And I mean, it's a huge slide because none of their games right now are on the top 10 grossing games for either Apple or Android. So their top 5 that have fallen 23%, those aren't like, Clash of Clans slips from 2nd to 5th place or something. This is like, they're slipping from 25th place to like 50th. It's so gnarly. And the big part of this that they were talking about is that Apple's new policies that you can basically, as an Apple user, say, no, I don't want my apps constantly tracking and following me around constantly so they can market other shit to me. And so everyone opted out of that. And Zynga's like, we don't know how to do anything else. If we can't track and follow people around, what is marketing? We don't even know how to do it anymore.
Is there another way? That's
don't
it.
know.
That's all there is.
So crazy, dude, that these companies have just gotten addicted to this data-based marketing, and they've forgotten, I don't know how marketing worked for hundreds of fucking years. And if they can't do this by like stealing your data, they literally don't know how to do it. Did we kill all the marketers that used to like put billboards and fucking ads in TV and radio? Like, are they all gone now?
Yeah. And I think, mobile gaming, I don't know, at least at a personal level, like,
Post-pandemic,
I just can't do it anymore because they've become so obnoxious.
Yeah.
And I feel like it used to not be so bad. And now it is like any free to play game is unplayable.
That's a huge part of it. Post-pandemic's a huge part of it. The fact that people aren't just sitting at home watching Netflix for hours while they're on their phone is a huge part of it. So basically, and it's projected in one of these articles I saw on Bloomberg that the mobile gaming market is just flat for the next like 2-3 years. Like, it's not going up, it's not really going down, but certainly it doesn't justify a $12.7 billion acquisition of the Farmville company. God, people just, God, what were they fucking thinking? That's so crazy. So yeah, good for Take-Two, and they don't care. Every single article I saw was like, oh, you should still buy Take-Two stock. In fact, you should double up in case this, because you know what? GTA 6 comes out soon, so it doesn't fucking matter what they did.
What they do.
I love that, dude. Just failing up. I'm so stoked. Tech bros? Yes. Nudity? No. The ESRB has started rating blockchain games as adult only, so EGS carved out a policy that allows them. This is so if you guys weren't aware of this, probably if you're a pervert like us, you might have been kind of in the know. Unlike Steam, which thrives on porn games. Peterson, tell me what the #1 porn game new and trending on Steam is.
I don't even have to say #1 porn game. It's just it's gonna be right up there at the top. Hold on, give me a second.
EGS does not allow Epic Game Store does not allow games with sexuality or nudity, like porn-based games, especially.
Yeah.
Especially any adults only games. That's always been kind of the death knell in the gaming industry. The ESRB, the rating board that essentially gives out these ratings, has a policy that, let's see, this is a quote that they sent in a statement to PC Gamer. Quote, ESRB can confirm that the AO adults only rating was assigned to both Gods Unchained and Striker Manager 3. These are two games that were carved out for in the EGS. That said, the AO rating assignments were not a direct result of them being blockchain games, but rather how that was implemented. Basically, they're fucking gambling. And so they're like, yeah, these are like letting kids gamble. It's not necessarily that it's blockchain, but so EGS, because they love blockchain games, they want all the blockchain games on their store for whatever reason.
Put them on there.
Specifically carved out. If you look in their content guidelines, it's like no AO games, just a bullet point. It's just like no adults only games because of nudity. And then there's this huge carve out that's like the Epic Game Store makes an exception for products in cases where the AO rating was applied solely due to the usage of blockchain or NFT technology. What? Well, that's not why they said it was fucking gambling, but they're like, no, it's blockchain. It's okay. It's okay. The ESRB doesn't know what they're talking about. Dude, you can't crib off of another organization's rating system and then just be like, well, not all of them. Some of them, though. I just think it's wild that this is the carve out for gambling games. That's what EGS. So you're going to look at the top games on Steam are just going to be like Wizard Sex Slave.
Wait, I can tell you what it is right now. Peeping Dorm Manager.
Beautiful. But you're going to look on EGS and the top 10 are all going to be like blockchain gamblers, where the only people that are actually making money on that are the developers who made the game.
And they're not investing in their own blockchain stuff because they're just losing so much cash.
They're spending all their money on Bitcoin.
They're just getting it from you. Yeah. Converting it to Bitcoin.
Yeah. So I don't know. EGS, if that's going to be their thing, we're the home for blockchain games. I think that's a very weird play. Blockchain, in my experience, hasn't proven to be anywhere near as profitable as pornography, but maybe time will tell. We might find out.
Yeah,
People
I think
blockchain and tech bros more than they like dicks and pussies.
I know. The arrogant kaiju princess and the detective servant is making a killing right now on Steam.
Arrogant kaiju princess
and the detective servant. Yeah, it's right there.
The thing is, they don't even have to be good games at all. They just have some weird sentence long title and then throw in some weird characters that have boobs attached to them.
Overwhelmingly positive reviews.
Aaron, tell me more about this game you're describing.
It
sounds good.
I'm in development right now, so I'll let you know.
Okay, grab a bottle of KC Masterpiece and just start dumping it in a bowl because we're going to be serving riblets tonight. Riblets are these meat nuggets of news. It's not a full rib. It's just a little news nugget.
A little baby rib.
We don't want to give them that much time. First up here, not unlike a Blimpie sub sandwich, Bobby Kotick will finally be sliding out of Activision Blizzard's asshole next week.
What is this headline?
Did you eat a Blimpie sandwich and you know when that slides out your back end a week later?
The way you said that, though, makes it sound like a completely formed sandwich is coming out of your butt into the toilet. Just a little gloopy.
Yeah, we're on the same page. Then.
I don't. How do you eat your sandwiches?
Like a snake.
Okay, so first you unhinge your jaw. Okay, it helps if you look straight up and you kind of push it down.
You get extra oil and vinegar on that bitch, and the lettuce acts as a lubricant.
Have you seen a hot dog eating competition? This is the situation.
You ever seen a Blimpies eating competition?
I
always win because
and I
no one
don't
else
watch
wants to eat that much Blimpies. No one
Wait.
else can prevent themselves from throwing up long enough to finish a whole Blimpies sub.
Wait, do we like Blimpies or do we not like Blimpies?
No,
We
nobody
never
likes
know.
Blimpies.
I haven't been there in a
It
long
clears
time.
out your
Is it
colon.
still around?
Bobby is stepping down from his position on December 29th, and pray to God he can find some success in his dating life and just leave us the fuck
Let's
alone.
hope he doesn't make it back in. You know what I mean?
I'm sure he's going to
Let's
be
hope
on
this
some
is his
boards,
exit.
but I'd love to never see this goblin fucking face again.
I mean,
hate this
it is
dude.
amusing, but yeah, I also never see anything that I like coming out of Kotick. Especially after a Blimpies.
Yeah,
So-
dude. That sub's just floating in your toilet, and you're like, all right, it's time to flush Bobby Kotick.
Round 2?
Steam is refunding every single person who bought the day before. The day before, if you remember, was this vaporware game that they released after it got 400,000. Or no, how many pre-order or not pre-orders? Wish lists. It was the most wish list game on Steam.
Yeah, and for like all year, it was like top 5 wish listed game all year long. Like it stayed there.
It came out. It was absolute dog shit garbage. It was
On my
clearly
wish
just
list.
like a scam con game. And everyone was like, oh, well, and you know, half of the people got their refunds like right away. But people are like, dude, even if only half of those got their refunds, even if 90% of people get their refunds, those people are going to still walk away with a killing. And Steam's like, nah. Everyone's out. You guys are all getting your money back. Day before, pound sand, get fucked, never come back to Steam. I think this is a black eye for Steam. Probably not that big, and I don't think many people would view it that way. But from Valve, yeah, this doesn't reflect well on their storefront.
Yeah, they're pissed about it. Like you know they're pissed about it. Even though, yeah, I'm not like, Steam did this to me, right? But like, yeah, Steam is not stoked about this.
But it's their store, and you don't want to be selling
about
shit
it.
in your store. So yeah, they're that's it. They're going nuclear on them. And I'm happy. So it was a fun con. It was a fun end of the year Blursty bait.
Hardcore Blursty bait.
Yeah, I think they got like 4 nominations so far. So it was good. I mean, I appreciate when studios do this. I don't know if seems like a lot of effort for Blursty, but get it.
We've seen it before, so yeah.
Kudos.
Dude, no Christmas kudos?
I might edit it into the
I hope you do. It's the highlight of my year.
Yeah, don't. It's a big miss.
Kudos is our positivity segment. Things that we love. We like to shout out on this podcast. So I've got a couple. You guys have got a couple. Why don't you guys? Well, I'll start really quick because I know Aaron has this one as well.
Yeah,
guys, if you haven't seen it already, and if it is still playing in theaters near you, which I hope it is, go out right now. It's the week between Christmas and New Year's. No one's really doing that much. Go hit a matinee of Godzilla -1. Oh, it's a Japanese language film, so you will have to read it. But it's also kind of one of those where you forget about 5 minutes in that you're reading it because the actors are so expressive. It's like you're replacing the words in their mouths with what you're reading.
At this point, I don't even watch the characters anyway. Exactly. I just read the subtitles on everything.
We all just watch subtitle shows anyway, so this isn't that much different.
Well, and they're pretty generous with the subtitles. I feel like they leave them up on the screen for a good amount of time, and it's not like a paragraph of reading. No, it's very small. You know, a couple sentences at the max.
Yeah, and there's not a shit ton of dialogue in this. It's a lot of it is just like really
roaring. There's a lot of roaring.
Godzilla doesn't say anything. They don't have to translate anything that he says.
No, just the characters. Just
okay,
roaring.
But if Godzilla has said something,
just roar at the bottom. Godzilla roars. Because he's roaring in Japanese. No, this movie is set in post-war Japan, like 1945 to 1948, I believe, or 47. And the idea is that while Japan is rebuilding from, a bunch of firebombing and a couple nukes, Godzilla rolls up and he's like, hey,
can't catch a break.
That's why it's called -1, is because they just keep getting shit on. Japan was already at 0. Godzilla comes and takes him to -1. This is, and Aaron, tell me if this was your read on it. I've seen a lot of Godzilla movies. This was the most terrifying fucking Godzilla I've ever seen.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He was
without a doubt.
so scary. Like, it's just, you're like, holy fuck, oh shit. Like, it's like skin, because normally I love kaiju movies because they're epic and awesome, and it's like almost like a Lovecraftian monster where you can't even really perceive it, so it's just kind of cool watching it hit buildings. This one was just like a scary fucking evil monster.
Well, and there's no
it's coming for
escaping it.
you.
There's no escaping
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
No escaping it whatsoever, and they make it very menacing. Absolutely.
Yeah, it is. Peterson, did you end up watching the trailer for this?
Yeah.
Yeah, the trailer includes some of the really cool shots. But the setup behind them is what really makes it. This is just that ends up being like a really good period piece film with great characters that happens to have Godzilla in it.
Mhm.
It's trying to think of anything else that I want to talk about without spoiling it. I don't.
Well,
Not
I
that there's
think
that many spoilers. Godzilla shows up and they fight him.
I mean the main character. I mean, it won't spoil because it's like the first 5 minutes of the movie. He's a kamikaze pilot
Mhm.
that kind of doesn't want to be a kamikaze pilot,
Go
which
figure.
which is super interesting because I mean I haven't seen that in a movie of a kamikaze pilot kind of like almost not following his orders kind of thing.
And he
So,
goes home after the war, having not.
right.
Everyone
And
knew he was a kamikaze pilot, and he walks back in, and they're like, "Wait a second."
That's not how it works. I don't think.
yeah, yeah. And so there's a lot of negative reactions against
Mhm.
against him as a person and his honor kind of thing. So it was very interesting
Hmm.
that to see that in the movie.
Yeah, and all that. That's like the main kind of driving characterization. I saw one thing is that Godzilla is like a personification of this one man's guilt, because he always shows
Yeah,
up
there you
when
go.
this guy's like feeling guilty. Dude, it's wild. It's so fucking good. And like I said, the Godzilla is terrifying, just so fucking scary. But there at the middle point, Aaron, the middle point of the film where everything's like going well, I was like enjoying the shit out of that too.
Yeah.
They set
Yeah.
up the characters that they're doing well before Godzilla shows up, and you're like, this is a really enjoyable, like I said, an enjoyable period piece film. Godzilla -1, and it's short too. It's only like 90 minutes.
I like
You
that.
guys got to go see
Perfect
it.
runtime.
Have to go
Yep.
see it. It's just, I think it's one of the, I think it's my favorite Godzilla movie ever.
Oh, 100%. Absolutely.
Which is weird to say, but well, it's not that weird to say, but I'm looking back at the old ones that I loved and all these other ones, and I'm like,
Well, it
the
had a
new
good
ones are so
mix.
cool.
It had a good mix of modern Godzilla with old, early
50s
1900s.
Godzilla.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Good mix between the different
Yeah,
Godzillas.
to that end, one thing that Jenna pointed out that made him so fucking scary, he never blinks. He's got those big, wide, dead eyes like they had on the on the guy in the
Yep.
suit in the original ones, just because they couldn't put a blinking Godzilla suit together in the 50s. Well, in this, it's like scary as fuck that he doesn't blink. Like, it's just creepy and evil. So it's so good. You guys got to go see it. Godzilla -1. Go see it while it's in theaters still. Maybe if you see they're re-releasing a black and white version, I'm gonna try to see
Ooh.
that too. So if you see that one, probably wouldn't be bad to see that one too. What do you guys got?
I got one I'll do. Speaking of personification of guilt, I had the Del Taco Birria ramen.
What? You got ramen from Del Taco?
I think I read that Del Taco is now the biggest seller
I
of
posted
ramen
that in our Good
nationwide.
Eats channel.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're the biggest birria or ramen distributor in America. Just instantly, just like that.
So I got it. Of course, I had to get it. I was driving by and I was like, I've thought about this like 5 times. I'm just gonna go get it. So I stopped and got the birria ramen, and I actually got their quesabirria, so like their birria quesadilla with the birria sauce that you dip it in. Guys, it's good. Like, honestly,
Yeah.
Del Taco
yeah.
does a great job with the birria. So if you don't know what birria is, it is a Mexican stew. It's a stewed beef, and the beef is real. You shred it, so it's like a roast, right? I'm actually making some tomorrow for Christmas Eve, because I wanted to try it. And so the beef just shreds up. The beef that's in this ramen is like prime. It is exactly what you'd get from any other restaurant serving birria. So it's fantastic. But then they've got the ramen, right? So it's got noodles in it, which I've seen birria ramen at other places that serve birria. I've seen it before. Anyway, I got the Del Taco one. It's good. It is solid. And I got 2 of them because I brought some home for the family. No one wanted to eat it. And so I ate it the next day. I put it in the fridge, ate it the next day. Even better the next day. The sauce had thickened up. The noodles had really soaked in that ramen, that birria flavor. I'm not kidding.
This sounds gross, man. I'm not gonna lie.
I know.
It's
That's what I'm saying.
especially like day old, ramen.
I know. It sounds terrible. Like, Aaron, I'm with you. I was like, why would I get birria from Del Taco? It's good, guys. It's good, and it's limited time. Just go try it. Just go try it. It's not expensive. It's $5-6 or whatever. Just go get it. It's nice and warm for those cold winter days. You will not regret it. It's just a nice, hearty soup coming from Del Taco. So, I don't know. It's weird, but I'm giving it my kudos because I really enjoyed it twice.
That's awesome.
All right.
Are there flavor? It's just the one. It's just you just get the birria
Yeah, it's just
ramen.
birria. Yeah, it's just birria ramen. So it's just a beefy soup with ramen noodles in it.
I dig it.
Aaron's like, you are not selling
That's
this
my
at
Friday night.
all. The beef is so tender and soft. I don't know. Anyways, get your beefy
Mm.
soup and you'll love it.
Yeah.
Okay, what else you guys got?
Mine is a TV show that's been out for a while, but I recently watched it. My brother just kept on saying, dude, you gotta watch this. You gotta watch this show. I'm like, okay, it's a cartoon, sure. It's Vox Machina on Amazon Prime. So
Legend of Vox Machina.
Oh, sorry, yeah, the Legend of Vox Machina. This is from Critical Role Productions. They're on Twitch and YouTube. They play Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah,
right.
Some of them actually have voice acting jobs, for other projects. But then they came up with this anime TV show or animation TV show, Vox Machina, that all of the characters that are, or all of the actors that are on the YouTube and Twitch, they voice their characters. These characters are around, I think, season 1 of their YouTube show. The characters that they created, but it's a very adult cartoon, very adult, like lots of language, nudity, and blood. Like everybody freaking dies in gruesome ways, and it's just it's fantasy driven with magic. So it's that kind of setting. You have your typical, cleric, bard, warrior.
It's their D&D characters, isn't it?
Yeah, it's their D&D characters that they created.
Yeah.
It is so freaking good. It sucks watching some other TV shows that are just like, they don't do any kind of character development. There's not any really good storyline. And then you watch shows like Vox Machina where they develop all the characters super in depth. Like you get a full character story arc in the whole season. And it's just it's a tight season. It's really, really good. I want to watch all 2 seasons again.
Sweet. I'll watch it.
So good.
Sounds good. I didn't even know. It wasn't even on my radar.
There you go. Yeah, and it's been out. I think season 1 came out like 4 years ago.
Yeah, I'll watch it. That sounds great.
I have
You
one more
sold me
streaming
at
thing.
cartoon nudity is where I really was like, oh, what's this called again?
Yeah,
Legend.
cartoon. Yeah, there you go.
Cartoonies,
Yeah.
Because that's all the video games I play these days.
Porn games
so-
and cartoon nudity. Yeah.
Yeah. I have one last one for another show. If you guys have Hulu, you got to watch the new MasterChef babies, the MasterChef Junior Holiday Special. It's 4 episodes long, really quick. You could just binge it in a night. It is amazing. So many cute kids, just the littlest kids they chose, it seemed like, for this one.
The little Asian girl was my favorite, though. Oh my god, when she
Oh.
went off, I was like, She was so cute. She's like,
Spoilers.
Come
The
on.
8-year-old doesn't win. So
Yeah.
one thing I loved about this, if you guys watch MasterChef Junior, because this is a special, they don't leave the kitchen, which means they don't go do any of those stupid challenges where they cook for people.
Yeah.
And they don't do any of the like stupid team challenges or any of that bullshit. There's no bullshit. It's just like,
It's
holy shit, just
it's the part of MasterChef you like.
you like. And
Yeah.
4 episodes of it, all holiday themed, people dressing up in costumes. Guys, if you like MasterChef at all, this is a must watch. I wanted to say this so you can watch it. This would be so good on Christmas Day. Just put it on in the
While
background.
you're cooking
baby.
Christmas Eve, just throw it on.
Yeah, I wanted you guys to
Perfect.
have this. Hopefully you listen to this, I guess the day before Christmas somehow magically, because it comes out the day after Christmas. It's not too late, you guys. That's what you get for not listening to our YouTube or subscribing to our YouTube. All our YouTube listeners and watchers, they're like, oh yeah, hell yeah, I can't wait for that. The rest of you, what are you doing? Is that it? Do we have any more kudos?
No,
Nope.
we're good.
Okay, last thing. Just want to call out, you guys, we're doing Blursties starting next week. The next 2 weeks we will be doing Blursties. So this is our last call for nominations. Hit up Peterson. I believe what is remaining, and this is subject to change, so don't hold me to this, but I still believe we have open categories for you guys to call in, leave voicemails, or send us your clip or whatever with your nomination for Gamer Rage, Worst Studio, Worst Decision, and then Worst Bug and Worst Feature.
And like
So
we just like to get these voicemails. If you want to do one, but you don't have a nomination for that, dude, I can
We'll
feed
give
you
you
some
one.
of them. We've got
Yep.
stacks of them for real.
Yeah.
So like, we just like to get those voicemails. They're always fun.
Yeah.
They're always
Oh,
creative. We like hearing from you guys.
We have never had more Blursty nominations in the history of this podcast on our doc here. So yeah, if you guys just want to call in, you're like, I don't know what's a good Blursty, we can definitely give you one, because there's a lot. So don't feel that you have to bring your own. So yeah, get those calls in. Hit us up on our website, 3bitgamershow.com. We have an email, the3bitgamershow@gmail.com, Twitter, and of course we have a Discord where you can just drop in and find us there. All right, let's move on.
Rundown.
All right, the rundown is this segment where we review a game. Simply put, that's just how it goes. We do a rundown. I don't know exactly what a rundown is.
No one
It
does.
sounds important.
Mhm.
So this actually started as a first impression rose.
Like 2 days ago, it was a first impression rose, and then JD played 40 more hours.
We
I
went
think.
on 6 more dates. We didn't sleep. It was basically just a meth bender after the first date.
we accidentally did a little meth on that first date, and we just kept it going.
We got on a plane
Like,
to Andola, and that was it. I don't know what happened. So basically, this is Space Trash Scavenger. It is a survival building game. Open world survival. It's not really open world though, so it's set in space. And the gameplay loop is very simple, but it's pretty addictive because it's very easy. I'll describe how it looks. It's a third-person game. You control a little astronaut floating through these systems where you have a planet or a star or a gas giant at the center, and around that body is a bunch of asteroids that are orbiting it. Asteroids, sometimes a scattered ship, like an old derelict ship. Sometimes little planetoids, and you just fly from one to the other, and you scavenge the trash, and you bring it back to your ship, where you atomize it. So you collect trash. Initially, you're just standing on your ship. You're not even going out. You're just grabbing trash that's just floating around in space. You put it in your atomizer, and then you build things with atoms. And then you go back to your ship. You buy, you get more things, you atomize more things, and then ultimately, once you've built up certain things, you can sell them at the stock market, which I will go into more later.
But honestly, this is, if we can figure out a way to get to Earth's lower orbit, this is actually going to be a real job. Just going up and cleaning up the trash.
Yep,
very lucrative too. So
yeah, and that's the thing, is that you are working for a corporation that's cleaning up. This basically the story, which is very simply told. humans expanded out into space really far. They expand to this one part of space and they find these aliens called the Entity, and they're like, oh, fuck that. They leave. 1,000 years later, this corporation's like, hey, look at that empty part of space. Let's go there and scavenge shit. And so you go there and the Entity is still there. So you're fighting off the aliens while you're scavenging the old human ships and junk, basically.
All the junk we left behind, we're good at that.
Yeah. And then so you sell it at the stock market, and then at the stock market, why are you selling it? Because you get credits, which you use the credits to buy new blueprints, which help you build new things. So like a faster jetpack, or a jetpack that doesn't consume as much energy. One of the other really cool things you have in this is you have a tractor beam that works two ways. It will either pull you toward something or pull something toward you. Feels very Brandon Sanderson-esque. But basically, you can use this, which I've been practicing really hard, to give yourself like orbital assists, like gravity assists off of these planetoids if you get close enough to them, and you can grab them, because that goes way faster using gravity than your jetpack can. And so if you get this down right, it can be really cool. Otherwise, you can use it to pull trash toward you, which is kind of cool as well.
Is this kind of like the Ghostbusters proton beam kind of thing going on? Is that what that is?
That's kind of how it looks. Yeah, that's kind of how it looks. And basically what you're doing, other than the basic gameplay loop of collecting stuff, building things with it, selling those things so you can buy blueprints and build more things, you jump from system to system using a map. It's like roguelike kind of a map, because it disappears behind you. You can't go back to the old jump points. You're just kind of jumping forward. So when you are in a jump point, you can see, oh, the next one's going to be asteroid rich. The next, or if you go to the left, it's a shipyard. So there's going to be a ton of ships, and you start to get to know which elements and things you can find in these certain areas. And you kind of just target how you're jumping around that. The other thing on this, the other big part of this is building. You're building a space rig. That's where your thing is, your atomizer, and the essentially they're like 3D printers that print different items. Those are all on your ship, which you start to build and power with like solar panels. And then you can also build farm panels that you can grow plants on. The building is pretty janky right now. It's a little rudimentary. But it's no worse than like Valheim was to start.
Yeah.
Like I'm having issues with a certain piece snapping, like it just doesn't recognize that it needs to snap somewhere, and that's very frustrating. So it's stuff like that. This is an early access game. I think it was like $15. I think I got it on sale
15.
for less.
I threw it on. I just put it on my wish list. While you were saying, I was like, I feel like this. I do want to play this.
Yeah, it reminded me of Raft if Raft was more engaging. Like Raft is very relaxing, and I liked the aspect of just kind of sitting on your raft while you go to one destination, and you're building on the raft while you're getting there. This one is not like that. Like you're either working or you're going to the next system. Like there's stuff to do. Like I said, it's very engaging. And then the combat, the final part here is this combat, which is awesome. I know it sounds so stupid. If you guys are watching it, any gameplay clips, the combat does not look that interesting. These entities are basically just like the robots from the Matrix, like those tentacle squid monsters that fly around, and they shoot you with laser beams that come out of their eyes. If you hit them in the eye with your gun, it does way more damage. And so they're kind of fun to shoot that way. They come straight at you. So it's very much an arcadey shooting kind of feel. They come and attack your ship every once in a while. Sometimes they're defending the planetoids. I got to tell you, using the curvature of a planetoid as cover to fight a flying monster, eerily cool, which kind of speaks to one thing that I've very much understated so far in this, is that your ship and these planetoids, wherever you're stepping, is down. So it's like, if you've ever heard of that or seen that book, the old French book, The Little Prince, it's like that. Like you're just standing on a tiny little planetoid. Or if you land on your ship, which is made out of cubes, and you walk over the corner, well, now you're like standing sideways. And then you walk over. And so I have built my base, so it's like in 3D. So you just like walk around it. It's kind of hard to describe without seeing it.
No, I can picture what you're saying.
Yeah, wherever is down is where you're standing. And so you use that for your gravity. It's just gravity based. It's such an interesting mechanic. It reminded me a bit of the Outer Wilds, or was it the Outer Worlds?
The Outer Wilds was the one where you spawned in and flew out into space.
And you die every like 30 minutes or whatever.
Yeah.
It reminded me a lot of the very small, intimate orbital mechanics in that game. But instead of being in a ship, you're just an astronaut. You have way more mobility, and with your little grappling gun, it just feels better. So the last thing here that I'll talk about is the stock market. That I mean, they just kept putting great layers on top of this game. This is not something that, you know, in a game like Raft or even in Valheim, there's a marketplace where you can sell shit. But it's kind of like a one and done thing, right? Like you sell it and then you're done. This one, there's so many blueprints to buy. There's a lot of them that are very expensive. You really have to use the stock market to earn credits. The amazing thing about the stock market is that it is so versatile. Every in-game day at the very start of the game, you get, or at the start of the day, you get updated prices for all the items that you craft, and a lot of the items you craft using other items you crafted. If you can kind of follow. So some of the items, you take the raw items, and you have to craft 3 levels of things, of crafting things out of crafting things out of crafting things before you can get to the item that you sell. And so in any other game, you would think, well, the item that I crafted the most is going to be the most expensive, and on and on and on. And there will be like orders of magnitude to the point that I might as well not even try to sell the initial crafted items. I should just all, use that pyramid to craft to the highest item in each line. Nope. This one, the stock market changes so much. Some items can start like 10 times as expensive as others, but their highs approach their lows approach the highs of those items, because the stock market changes so much. It shows trend lines over the day for each item, so you can see if items are kind of trending up, and then you start to get an idea of, this is the average price of this item. It's 10K right now, but oh my god, it's down to 2,000. There's no way I'm sitting on those for sure. And then other items that usually tap out, or their midpoint is like 1,000, they're up at 4,000. You're like, oh shit, I gotta go make a bunch of those and sell them. And it moves so much that I was like, couldn't wait for the next day to happen to check the stock prices. Man, I've never had a game like that, an in-game selling mechanic. You seen something like that before? Have you guys seen that?
I have seen it before, but never with any stats associated with it.
The stats and the trend lines.
So sometimes, you just don't know where it's at, and you're just like, I don't know what it's like. So I've seen it where there's variable prices based on how many are out there, but I never see the stats on it, right?
Yeah, so all those layers together, every time I discover a new like aspect of the game, I was like, oh my god, that's awesome. It fits so well. It makes sense. Because initially you get enough credits that you can just buy all this stuff you need.
Are you sure this isn't a blockchain game? It sounds like what you're describing is a blockchain situation.
I have made so many Bitcoins playing this game. You guys don't even realize. And eventually, I guess the end game is that you are building a ship that you can fly. Because right now, my ship doesn't even fly. It just sits there. I can just jump from system to system, and then I just fly around to the planets. But you can eventually make your ship so you can drive it. And then you can set up all this automation. So you just drive past an asteroid. It scoops it all up. It puts it down, all the items, automatically atomizes them. And then it sends the items out to the different 3D printers or whatever you need to make the items you want. And you can just automate that and then sell it all. I haven't gotten that far. B, I'm not super interested in it because I like just like zapping the rocks with my laser to collect them. And one other thing that I didn't mention that's really cool, in the combat, with like I said, the flying pixels or your bullets are just like squares flying through the air. Like, it's so funny. Dungeons. There are dungeons in this game, either in the ships, and one I recently discovered are mining planets. So you go down into the mines on these planets, and they're filled with those entities. And dude, I'm telling you, as pixely as this game is, and as much of a kind of a janky early access game is, it jump scared me a couple times. Because they come out and they make this noise and they start zapping you with lasers, and you're in this really claustrophobic mine space. It feels like an old Doom game because it's just like right angles and like dead ends and stuff everywhere. And then all of a sudden there's like entities mobbing you, and it's surprisingly fun. Like I said, it's engaging. The combat in Raft, 0% engaging. It's shooting things with a bow and arrow and running from them, or stabbing a shark that's just biting on the corner of your ship. This is active. Not too stressful, mind you, because I didn't want stressful out of this game. The combat's just kind of fun. It's kind of a light little maintenance thing. You could put turrets on your ship, and then you don't even worry about those monsters because your ship will just kill them. Anyway, if you guys couldn't tell, I love this game. I put like 20 hours into it in 4 days. Yeah. I played it. The first session was 5 hours straight. And that's not a thing I usually
without
do.
realizing it. He was like, oh, I've been playing all day.
Yeah. Jenna went to her jiu-jitsu class and then was gone for 2.5 hours and came back. And I was like, wait, was your class short? She's like, no. It's over 2.5 hours. Were you playing this game the whole time? I was like, no.
No, I went
right
on a
when you
walk
left,
with
I
the
stopped
dog.
playing, and then I just picked it up right before you got back. Duh.
Yeah.
So I see the build is only a 0.35 is the latest build. So it's pretty early on.
So early.
And it seems like there's a ton of stuff like that you can do in this game.
Yeah, I'd say. Go ahead.
Do they have a roadmap
out there?
I didn't even look. One. But yeah, I haven't really heard. I think they were just getting this. This is made by 2 people, which is really kind of cool. I think it's just 2 dudes in Europe that are working on it. But Aaron brings up a very good point. Is how early this is. This feels like, I guess, Raft in like 2019, just when they had that first like 2 levels out. But it has, as Aaron pointed out, way more stuff. And if they add more things, more enemies, even they could add more enemies easily. Add more planets very easily, different types of planets, different types of systems. They can, all this stuff, the baseline of this game is so amazing. I can't even begin to imagine. There's only like really 2 weapons. But I can't imagine what else they might.
Yeah, I bet there's going to be a lot more based on what I've seen
reviewed
so far.
On Steam. Yeah. I think
there's one. I'm looking at reviews right now. There's one guy, he recommends it, although he does have some nits because he has done everything the game has to offer. But that's what happens when you play 193 hours.
Come on, guy. Come on,
193 hours. He's like, I've done everything. I don't know what the point of it is anymore.
Bored. Negative review.
And the point, no, he gave a positive review. his whole review is like kind of negative, but he's like, I just don't know what to do anymore. And I'm like, yeah, we're not even at the 0.5 version of this game.
Yep.
It's still like,
of course you don't know what to do. There is nothing. There is no end game. Hasn't even been built yet.
Yeah. So I am very excited to see where this is going to go. Cool. I'm going to button up here. And I think I'll be better about this than I was with Planet Crafter. I don't think I'm going to come back to this till the 1.0 because I know how hooked I am, and I don't have another like 40 hours to put in every time they do an update. But I worry that when 1.0 comes out, I'm going to put 200-300 hours.
I wish listed it, and yeah, I'm just going to be watching it and waiting. You know what I mean? Like, no rush. But I do like these types of games. Sometimes just get sucked in for like few days, few weeks.
And it sucks. It sucked me in hard. If you guys like Valheim, any survival craft game, the crafting is
how
great.
hard did it suck you in?
It sucked me so hard in.
Bit of blimping.
Why are you guys laughing
like that? You can't just say stuff like that.
But it's only $15.
Is it on sale still?
No, it's not on sale right now. It will be guaranteed. This game.
Oh no, it's on sale. It's 20% off right now for $60.
January 4th. Yeah,
it's normally for $20.
Oh, there it is.
I'd say for me, 100%, totally worth it. I'm glad I waited for it to go on sale, but just like Valheim was, I believe, $20, and I got it for $15. Same deal. This is worth it. Like Peterson said, you're able to put in hundreds of hours. There are a lot of reviewers that have put in that much time. So
like most of the reviews were like 30, 10. Like people are putting their money's worth.
If you like a scanner, if you like a mineral collecting laser, and you like a bunch of crafting,
I just like when the rocks do their little pop. You know, I just like it.
You can get mining drones that follow you around and help you laser things. They're like your buddies. So I'll land on a planet and just hit 6 a bunch of times, and all these droids come out and go lasering around. It's really cute. I love this game.
You feel like some sort of god or something. You're like collect for me, drones. I know.
Go
I
forth.
know.
Yep, exactly. All right, so check it out. Space Trash Scavenger. I believe it's on Steam. I don't know if it's anywhere else. It's $20 normally. Definitely wishlist it. You might be able to get it on sale.
Yep.
Okay, let's go on.
Do some Christmas stuff. Here we go.
Shall we play a game? Carry. Cool. Play a game. Carry. Cool.
All right, Crew Carry Kill is this game. It's our version of Screw, Marry, Kill. And it's the way we like to describe it is you have a person that you'd like to have on your crew. This is the person
Your gaming crew. These the
always down.
every night you just hop on. Who's on? This guy hops on.
They're not going to drive you nuts. They're going to make you happy. Carry is someone that shows up in drops in one of your multiplayer games or something, and they suck.
It's a pug, right? You get a
Yep.
pug. They're on your team, and you're just like, you know what? I'm going to carry you like for the rest of the night. We're never going to play again together, but tonight it's a one night stand gaming.
And then Kill is someone that you just want to kill over and over again.
I want to grief so hard. I want to grief that person
Yeah.
so hard.
I just want to follow them around, even as they're trying to escape me and log off.
I'm gonna find you.
Switch servers. I'm finding you.
Yeah.
Crew
night.
Carry Kill we're doing this week with characters from Christmas movies and TV specials.
Yeah.
You got to keep it on theme. You got to keep it on brand.
Christmas.
So let's start with Crew. What do you guys got on your Christmas movie crew?
I'll kick it off. Okay, the movie we just watched. This might be unpopular, but I put Fred Claus on my crew, and let me tell you why. I like Vince Vaughn. That's where this gets a little controversial.
On your crew.
Look,
okay.
Vince Vaughn plays the same character in every show. He plays Vince Vaughn character.
Yeah.
And he's the same way in Fred Claus. He's just like kind of sarcastic, snarky, but he's got a good heart.
He's an immortal demigod who has been alive for 600 years, and he is the exact same character from Dodgeball.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, it's the same character always. And I like him. I like his vibe. I want him to be on my crew. He's going to make little quips. He's a nice guy. He'll be your friend for life, right? You guys going to be tight. But yeah, I just like him. I like Vince Vaughn character. That's what I don't even know if that's what he's like in real life, but I want Fred Claus, aka Vince Vaughn character, on my gaming crew.
Talking shit. Okay,
nice.
I can see it. My crew is also the namesake from a Christmas film, Buddy the Elf. He's just so enthusiastic, and I have a feeling that Buddy would be really good at video games. I bet the elves are the best. The elves are like amazing at video games. They can just get
like,
top 10
they're like the Koreans, right? You're not going
Exactly.
to have a Korean on your crew.
He's been trained by the Koreans.
They're better than you.
Ooh.
They're better than you, but he's
Yeah.
the non-Korean Korean who you can actually like maybe have on your crew. The Koreans won't give you the time of day because you're not good enough.
Yeah, he's like shit tier in the North Pole, but the second he lands in New York, he does one night of decorations, and the Gimbals manager thinks that they brought in a squad to do it. So like, I think he would have that same level of skill, like any childlike toy that he has with Legos or Etch-a-Sketch. Any video game you queue up with Buddy, he's just gonna crush. And he's so enthusiastic and positive, and he's having such a good time no matter what. And he brings the best candy if you actually play in like real life with him. So yeah, Buddy the Elf is on my crew for sure. No brainer.
And I like the thought that if you're playing an online game and then you see actual Koreans, like he gets a little intimidated, like he's all excited.
Yeah.
Like he's a little intimidated. These are my friends. And you're like, Buddy, no.
You're an angry Korean.
You're going to die so fast. You're an angry Korean.
Call me Korean one more time, friend.
Oh my god!
All right, Aaron, who's
one?
on your crew?
My crew is Santa Claus from Violent Night. It's the David Harbour Santa Claus.
I love that.
Because he is resilient. He will not give up. If he goes down, he's beaten up. He'll get back up and start slaying fools.
He's not rage quitting, that's for sure.
No.
And honestly, he goes into berserker mode. Like the more you lose, the better he gets.
Yeah, exactly.
And he can just show up at that shitty kid's house who's talking shit about fucking your mom. He's gonna be there tonight. Like he'll be there later.
He will be there with the freaking candy cane.
He's like,
in
yeah,
your
dude,
eyeball.
go on, keep saying it. He's just marking on his list. He's like, all right, well,
He pulls out the list.
he's
and
literally
like,
Santa. Lest we forget, he's actually Santa in that film.
Dude, okay, Aaron, I like that you said that because I did a second version of this with only Santas, and he is my crew Santa.
Dude, he's
Beautiful.
OP, man.
He's gonna be dope. Like he's gonna carry me.
Mm-hmm.
So same with like the Buddy the Elf situation. He's gonna carry me.
All right, I gotta go with my carry right away because I think it's my favorite. My carry is Cousin Eddie from A Christmas Vacation. Dinner was full. Dinner's full.
You don't want to play with him all the time, but one night with Eddie would be legendary.
You would be saying the things he said on that night of multiplayer. You'd be quoting him with your friends and your actual crew for the rest of your life.
Yeah, he would be a legend.
Yeah, he would just every fucking line he drops, you'd be writing him down, you'd be giggling him, you'd be sending him, pinning him at the top of your Discord. You're like, this is what Cousin Eddie said when we were playing League of Legends. Like, come on.
My Santa version is actually very similar. My Santa was the Santa from Home Alone. You know, the one that he runs into and he's like, I know you're not Santa, but you work for me. He's getting his crappy car and he's like, he's like drunk, right? You play with him for one night and you're like, dude, that guy was so drunk. Remember that wasted guy we played with? Like he was a disaster. But like, yeah, we have a couple guys in Sea of Thieves that we played with 1 or 2 times that are like that. We still talk about these guys. So yeah.
But at the very end, he pulls out like a little candy cane. He's like, he sends you a skin.
Yeah.
Like, oh, thanks, man.
Like, dude, that guy was crazy. I thought he was homeless.
Did he send you guys a skin too? Yeah, just like a little one. I already had it. Like, I don't want a candy cane.
But my actual what I want to carry though, my non-Santa one is Ralphie from A Christmas Story.
Can't put my arms down.
Look, this little that's his brother, Randy.
Yeah. Randy. Oh, I always get Randy and Ralphie.
Yeah.
Ralphie, main character. Yeah.
Ralphie is that dorky little kid. He ends up on your Fortnite squad and he doesn't know what he's doing. He's not good at the game. And you're like, listen here, you little Coke bottled glasses bastard. You listen to me. You want to get a victory royale tonight? We're going to do that. I'm going to do that for you, Ralphie. You are going to follow me everywhere I go. I shoot, you start shooting. Don't stop. You get knocked, I want you to crawl into a bush. I'll come get you, Ralphie. I am going to get you that victory royale, but don't do anything that I don't tell you to do.
Didn't they add his bunny costume to Fortnite?
Probably. I don't know.
That's awesome.
Hold on.
That's the skin he's wearing, though, 100%. And he doesn't even like it, but it's the only one he has. Like, I want to carry that dorky little kid, and he's just going to be so grateful for it. Him and his screen name is Little Orphan Annie, or what does he listen to? Annie? Yeah, I think it's Little Orphan Annie or something like that. That's his Ovaltine.
Get his decoder reel.
Decoder
ring.
Yeah, so I want to carry Ralphie one night. I don't want to play with him all the time, but he's going to end up on my crew, and I'm going to get him that first victory royale he's ever had.
That's super funny.
So
Aaron, who's your carry?
My carry is actually Buddy the Elf. Is
nice.
My carry?
That's what I was thinking when JD said that.
Because hey, you made some pretty good arguments, for having him on your crew, but I feel like he'll just get so distracted. He'll see something shiny, and he'll be like, "What's that? No, Buddy, let's kill these guys. Stay on task." And maybe he'll drink some maple syrup. And
you're playing Sea of Thieves with him. He ends up on your boat, and he just tries to make friends with every other boat. And you're like, buddy, they're going to try to shoot us. He's like, I'm going to try. Hey, hold on. Hey, guys. And you're like, that's
counterpoint. Buddy. He jumps into that snowball fight without any hesitation. Takes out like 7 kids.
It's true. But then
he seems to relish.
He just gets annoying after a while. And you're just like,
yeah, I don't want to play with him every night. That level of positivity I can't match regularly.
I saw a dog today. Did you see a dog?
Like, I don't know. I'm just
That's the best quote of the whole film.
I want to
That's how I feel. I'll tell Jenna. I'll come home and I'm like, I saw a dog, and she's like, "What?" I was like, "Did you see a dog?" She's like, "No."
Like, it's like, don't give that player a hug. Don't give him a hug. He doesn't want a hug.
All right, so let's get to the last one, the most annoying one. Who you want to kill, dude? Guys, I couldn't choose. I was really, it was a toss up for me. between Buzz from Home Alone, because I am the youngest of my family, and the scenes where he's just being a shit and he's getting away with it, and his whole family's like, "Oh yeah, Buzz is okay, but Kevin's the problem." I'm like, no, Buzz is the fucking problem. I would love to kill that little asshole over and over and listen to him make excuses for his shitty friends that are sitting on the couch next to him why he keeps getting owned. But then the other one that was funny for a couple reasons was Howard Langston, Arnold's character from Jingle All the Way, because I watch that film every year, and every year I am all over again astounded at how terrible, like the depths of how bad of a parent he is. Like, he has got to be the worst father of all fucking time. Howard Langston, dude, he is the worst. And then if you kill him a bunch, you get to hear Arnold, again. I will find you. I think I got to go with Buzz because I just want to hear him die on the other end of the line.
See, I went the other direction, same movie, but I want to kill Kevin McAllister. And let me tell you why. The older I get, the more I realize that he is a little jerk. The beginning of the movie, this little 9-year-old, whatever, I don't know, 9 or 10, however old he is, this little kid comes down. Okay, first of all, that pizza guy was in the house for a solid 30 minutes. Where was Kevin? He didn't even know the pizza was there. I don't know what he was doing. Okay, there's what seems to be 50
he was
people.
packing.
No, he wasn't doing anything.
Okay.
There was what seems to be 50 people in that home at the moment, and he comes downstairs. This is like several slices into pizza for everyone else, and he's like, "Where's my piece of cheese pizza?" And you're like, "I don't know. We ate that 20 minutes ago." He goes in a rager. He just starts getting pissed at everybody, spilling stuff on like passports or whatever. Like, he's just pissed because hey, Kevin, why don't you pick the pepperonis off a piece of pizza like a normal human, you idiot?
Peterson watches this whole film, and he's like the uncle.
No,
he's like relating to the uncle.
He is a little jerk. He is incompetent. Les incompetent, as the French say. He is, and then he goes upstairs and starts getting at his mom. Don't talk back to your mom, you little jerk. So yeah, I want to start killing that kid. Look, and then you could make the argument, yeah, but he changes by the end, like he's a different person. No, I know kids, JD. I have kids. That lasted 2 days. And then Buzz did the take the L dance to him one time. He goes on a rager again. He's yelling at his parents. He's a little jerk.
Do you ever see Buzz get in trouble? Buzz doesn't get in trouble, dude. That's the issue.
Look, we know who
Kevin
Buzz
gets
is.
Shit on by all of his older siblings, and then he gets in trouble for it.
He deserves it. He deserves it. He is a little jerk.
Help him? Does it seem like the things he deserves are helping him?
He brings it on himself, JD.
Oh, okay.
Look, you are the youngest child. I can tell. It's really coming out. But
and you're the uncle.
Listen,
you're not even Buzz, dude. You're the fucking grouchy uncle.
No, I'm
He's
not
just
on Buzz's
freeloading off
side
of his
either.
brother.
No, but I don't like Kevin. I want to kill him over and over in a game. If we're in the game, I'm going to find him, and I'm going to let him know I'm going to find him, and I'm going to let him know my whole night is going to be killing him. And I want him to know that, and I just want to hear him raging in the background. I want this to be an proximity mic situation where I can hear Kevin McAllister getting so mad.
Okay, I like that one. Aaron, who would you want to kill?
Mine's Ralphie from A Christmas Story. As I hate that movie.
How dare you?
I just keep wanting to shoot him. He's just whiny. All he wants is a stupid rifle like the entire Christmas. And
can I get some skins, Mom? I just want this Fortnite skins. That's him.
He's just but he's just slipping the V-Bucks thing into her Look magazine.
A little V-Bucks ad. Dude, no, yeah. I'm not with you on this one. I love Ralphie so much.
Yeah, Ralphie is
I love him so much.
Peterson, who's your Santa kill? Who do you want to kill?
This one was tough. My Santa kill, though, maybe one of my least favorite Santas just because he's so mopey and whiny. Michael Scott Santa. When he doesn't get to be sexy
Happy
Santa.
birthday, Jesus. Sorry your party was so lame.
Dude. I want to hear him getting grumpier he won't even be mad. He'll just be like so upset and like belligerent about it. I want that.
I think here's the thing: you have to suffer through like 3 or 4 episodes of The Office where Michael ruins Christmas, but it's all worth it for the one Mindy Kaling line where she goes, can you just make one Christmas? Can we just have one Christmas party that's not about all your issues?
About your issues.
And he just goes silent. Because that's every fucking thing. Is
1,000%.
Michael Scott's issues at the office party, and she just calls him out. It's so fucking amazing.
Yes. So that's my
fun. I
that's
like
my
that. That I didn't even consider that Michael Scott Santa. Okay, cool. That's all we've got. You guys, we want to hear your crew carry kill. Jump on Discord. Tell us who you want to get involved with, who you want to kill, and who you want to carry around on your team. We want to hear it.
Okay, and Aaron, we're just gonna skip the next one because we're going long.
Yeah, no worries.
And then we'll just go straight to dice, and I'll just tell everyone I'm not doing it.
I ain't doing it.
Dice of Destiny.
We should have a Dice of Destiny clip that just has a record scratch halfway through.
Oh, I have one.
Ooh, is it on the board?
Yeah, here we go. Ready?
Dice of Destiny.
Nope, not doing it this week.
It's literally what you said right before you started. Nope, not doing it this week. Dice of Destiny is this game we play at the end of every episode. We roll some dice to see what kind of game and how much money we're going to play or pay for it. And then we pick that game and play it. Peterson, last couple weeks, rolled any game. He rolled a natural 20, which means you can pick any game in the whole wide world. He picked Frontiers of Pandora, a.k.a. Avatar Far Cry.
That's what it is. So here's why. I actually started playing it, and I was like, dude, I'm going to play it, give a review. I can only play like maybe an hour at a time, and this is a pretty big game. I can already tell it's a pretty big game because this game, even I turned down all the graphical settings, is frying my GPU. It is. I turned off the space heater. I'm in a basement room, right? It's so cold down here in the winter. I have a space heater right by me. I turned it off because of the heat coming out of my computer. I'm not kidding. So I was like, I can.
And you got the case open too.
Yes, the case is open right next to me, and I'm like, no, I can't. This game is frying my computer. But honestly, I think I'm gonna have a good review for it. I am enjoying it. But yeah, I was like, I'm barely a couple hours into this.
Well, that's good because we've got basically with the 2 Blursty weeks, we're not going to worry about dice for those. So Peterson gets some serious time to put into this game. So we'll let you 100% it like you do with all Far Cry games.
Dude, I hope not. I was like, I don't have time for this. I'm still playing Baldur's Gate.
Okay, so that's it. Once more, if you guys want to get in on the Blursties, they start next week. We'll do nominations, 2 weeks of nominations, because like Spider-Man 3, we got to split it into 2 parts to make the most money. Here it is all about profit on this podcast.
End of January, though, we're just going to release it all as one episode.
You guys can just wait and get all the Blursties at once. To play us out, we've got the main menu music from Space Trash Scavenger. I don't know why it's like the game is not Western themed whatsoever.
If there was
the music, though,
this is if there was a Western version of space, though, this is it. Just like you're out there on your own.
Yeah. I guess the Wild West,
wild, whatever direction you're heading.
Yeah, every direction is west if you want it to be.
There's no west in space.
Enjoy your holidays, or hopefully you already enjoyed your holidays. Don't forget to go see Godzilla. So good. I'm JD, logging off.
This is Peterson going AFK.
Aaron rolling out.
If you let this play, it turns into a different song randomly.
Yeah, it does. It changes quite a bit.
And then it's just like, peace. That's it. Hold on.
All right, I'm ending it.
Yeah, this doesn't